Have you ever wondered about the aspects of history that schools often leave out? A question many of us have asked at some point. Today, we delve into one such topic, a part of American history that is often glossed over: slave breeding. In the era of slavery, enslaved people were considered less than human, viewed as commodities by the slaveholders. These individuals were kept, not just for labor, but also for the purpose of breeding. Yes, breeding, a term typically associated with livestock, was in fact a reality for countless enslaved individuals. This reprehensible practice was a calculated strategy employed by slaveholders to maintain and increase their labor force. It was a dark yet integral part of the economic system of slavery, a reality that is often omitted from our textbooks. The reality is harsh. It's a part of American history that we must confront. As we delve deeper into this topic, let's remember to approach it with an open mind and a compassionate heart. Slave breeding was not a random act, but a calculated business strategy. This chilling truth underscores the cold, hard economics of the slave trade. Slaveholders employed various methods to encourage breeding, all of which were designed to swell their labor force and increase their wealth. Forced marriages were commonplace. Slaveholders would pair individuals they deemed fit to produce children who would grow into strong workers. This was not about love or companionship, but rather about creating the next generation of enslaved people. Rewards for bearing children were also prevalent. Slave women were often incentivized or coerced into having children. The more children they bore, the more valuable they became to their masters. Perhaps the most horrific practice was the sexual exploitation by slaveholders themselves. This was not only a violation of personal autonomy but also a disturbing assertion of power and control. These practices were a brutal violation of human rights, yet they were considered normal at the time. This serves as a stark reminder of the depths to which humanity can sink in the pursuit of profit and power. The implications of these practices were far-reaching. Let's delve into the profound impact of slave breeding on the enslaved people themselves. Consider the psychological trauma, a pain that transcends generations. Enslaved individuals weren't merely treated as property, they were bred like livestock. This dehumanization stripped them of their dignity, identity, and personal freedom. Further, families were torn apart. Mothers were separated from their children, siblings from each other. These practices shattered familial bonds, creating an environment of fear, uncertainty, and despair. This disruption of the family unit was not just a byproduct, it was a deliberate strategy to control and dehumanize the enslaved. Lastly, the systematic slave breeding led to the creation of a mixed-race population. This was a direct result of the forced copulation between slaves of different ethnicities. The consequences of this are still seen today in the racial and cultural diversity of the African American community. These practices had a profound impact on the lives of enslaved people and continue to reverberate in our society today. Why don't our schools teach us about this? This question is a poignant one, and it begs for an answer. It's no secret that the legacy of slave breeding is an uncomfortable chapter in our history. The brutality, the inhumanity, the systematic degradation of human beings. These are not topics that are easily broached nor easily understood. Many believe the omission is intentional. There's a certain level of discomfort when it comes to discussing such a dark past. It's easier to present a sanitized version of history, one that doesn't ruffle feathers or make us squirm in our seats. But in doing so, we risk losing sight of the truth. Yet there's a deeper reason. It's not just about discomfort. It's about facing the harsh realities of our past, of acknowledging the wrongs that were committed, of understanding the deep-seated roots of racial inequality that persist today. We owe it to ourselves and future generations to tell the full story of our past, however uncomfortable it may be.